Okay then, so this is sort of a double-edged sword. Millennials are ruining the Conservative Party, which is an interesting perspective. I'd say that the Conservative Party have been ruining the lives of millennials for the last 30 years, but we'll come on to that. And then also that same generation of people will also inherit the most wealth in history. Ed, do you want to start us off by talking about the Conservative Party story, and then we'll take it from there and we'll figure out sort of how the inherited wealth develops.
Before that, can I just point out that millennials are not aged between 17 and 35?
Where does it say that?
The Resolution Foundation predicts millennials, those aged between 17 and 35.
Onward say it's 25 to 40.
It is.
Is that it? Is that the
20? Well, no, it's actually like 27 to 40.
What are the years?
1996.
All I know is I'm a millennial, and so is John Elledge, and he's 42.
Does John Elledge feel comfortable with you telling everyone how old he is on this podcast?
Cut that too.
How old are millennials, Ava?
Not 17 and 35.
I don't think you can be 17 and a millennial.
It definitely it starts.
No, you're 50 Gen Z.
No, 92 millennials.
Is this just a typo? Is this
No. I think it is. I think maybe it's disputed territory.
Can I just say it ends at 96? That's when it ends.
I know this because Johnny Mercer once told me in a pub that we were of the same generation, and I was so affronted by that I went and looked up the edges of what being a millennial was, and it's his age at the top and me at the bottom. I'm on the bottom edge.
Right.
He's in the upper edge.
The gender interpretation of
Bottom
being
edge
nearly
of Johnny
30.
Mercer.
Yeah, the power bottom of Johnny Mercer. No, if you want to, in future, when you're thinking about millennials, just think the top of the cohort, Johnny Mercer, bottom of the cohort, Ollie Dugmore. That's a little gift from me to everyone else.
Then I'm not a millennial.
Yeah, I'm 3
You're a
younger than
Gen
you.
Z.
No, I'm millennial.
You are not a millennial.
I'm 96.
Yeah, you are Gen Z.
By your own parameters, I'm a
Oh
millennial.
my fuck, is he Gen Z?
He's Gen Z.
Can't you tell?
I think you might have to leave the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm wearing...
Oh, so we can come to you for the youth perspective on things now, Ed. That's
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Gen Z
You guys have your millennial discussion.
Yeah,
I'll give
and
the
then
Gen
you can
Z.
tell us that we're boomer fucks.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're millennial.
I'm on the cusp.
Okay, borderline. Anyway, the thing is, this is completely pointless. Millennials are not going conservative. There's a really interesting piece by John Byrne Murdoch in the FT not too long ago that shows that traditionally throughout all of history, as people have aged, they've become more conservative, right? It's that old cliche saying, right? If you're young and not left wing, you don't have a heart. If you're old and not right wing, you don't have a head. And tale as old as time, people became more conservative as they aged. And I guess the thing you can figure out from that is as people got older, they accumulated more wealth. So they therefore had an interest in conserving the status quo and staying rich. I think, ipso facto, the fact that millennials aren't accruing wealth, aren't buying houses, and generally speaking are part of a wage class rather than an asset class, they have no interest in conserving the status quo. Why would you want things to remain the same if your life fucking sucks? Riddle me that. Onward.
You're taking on Onwards.
Yeah, I'm taking him on. But that's the point, right? That the think tank Onward is saying that this poses an existential threat to the Conservative Party. And I don't know if it does, but nonetheless, it is interesting, isn't it?
You know what it would be helpful is if someone who used to be a reporter started to be the director of Onward. That this could line him up quite well to become a Conservative MP.
In the seat of
Selby. Specifically.
We've bitched about Seb Payne several times in this podcast.
I think we've mentioned him in every podcast.
Brainworms. Seb Payne brainworms. But
Lives rent-free, unlike me.
What do you think the role of millennials is in politics, Ed? Because that's what Onward wants to talk about. What is the role of the millennial?
I think it's interesting. The framing of it is interesting because I think it speaks to maybe a right wing or certainly conservative opinion in that they are owed votes. Like for however many decades you got to a certain age and we made you rich and you voted for us and that was the deal. And almost instead of like looking inward and being not onward, looking inwards about what have we done to betray, like why is this pact ended? Why is this social contract ended? I think oh shit, maybe it's because we haven't made anyone rich and these people will live in warehouses with 10 strangers in bunk beds. They're like, hang on, why aren't you holding up your side of the deal? We're trying to hold up ours. It's quite a hot dog car meme. being like,
What's that?
it's so.
We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
I'm going to briefly explain a sketch where I think you should leave, which is where a man, there's a car crash in a clothes shop, and the car is a hot dog car, and a man wearing a hot dog costume keeps going, whoever did this is going to be in big trouble. That's the meme.
How old is he?
He's in
millennial.
Yeah, he's a millennial. Tim Robinson's a millennial.
He's not 49.
Probably not. Probably not. This is derailed. This is absolutely.
Whoever did this.
Oh, exactly. Oh, we're all trying to find the person who derailed the Pubcast.
No, completely. It's like, why would... It's almost as if they're entitled, right? It's like, these people should be voting Conservative. It's like, if you don't actually offer anything that's going to improve the material conditions of those people, why would they vote for you? In fact, I'd go as far as to say that your party is waging political warfare on that generation with all sorts of things, whether it's tuition fees, whether it's the ability to buy a house. Like, let's just take that rather simple fact. If you're not going to make their lives better, why would they vote for you? They surely understand this point because they relentlessly make the lives of pensioners better.
Can I hypothesize something?
Shoot.
Maybe it's kink.
In what sense?
Well, we're going to keep punishing you and hurting you, and you're going to vote for us.
Is that like the sadomasochistic?
Oh, you like that? More interest in your student loans, yeah?
Yeah.
the sadomasochistic groups at large in the Conservative Party is like, well, everyone likes this.
Yeah, queuing 5 hours for a doctor's appointment, are we? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I think I'm going to try and make this like vaguely. I think there is there's political capital to be gained in doing that, i.e. Within the context of the culture war, the Conservative Party base likes to read in the Daily Mail that, for example, graduates are having a hard time, or that young people can't buy a home because they're like, yeah, fuck you, I have a home, you can't have a home. That's crabs in the bucket mentality of no one else is allowed to have anything nice. I've got mine, you can't have anything else. Crab tries to climb out of the bucket, and then the Daily Mail reader just pincers them and just pulls them down.
I've never heard that analogy before, crab in the bucket. I love that.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, it's scientifically proven. If you put a load of crabs in a bucket, obviously they stack up on top of one another. If one of the crabs successfully starts to maneuver itself out of the bucket, the other crabs will pull it back in.
That's so great.
It has absolutely no bearing on the other crabs, right? If the other one gets out. Like, if the other one gets out, it's not going to change their fortunes. It's just, they just want to be like, no, fuck you. You can't have that. So they take it, they pull it back into the bucket, come into the crab bucket.
I wonder if this will, back away from the crabs discussion, back to the serious political discussion we were having before Ava derailed it. I wonder if eventually this will come back to bite the Tories even more so. In that you talk
yeah, I mean, you probably not.
But you talk about like the Daily Mail reader. They don't exist in a vacuum where they don't interact with young people. They have children, and so eventually they might be like, "Oh shit, why does my child not have? Why don't I have grandkids? Is that like because they can't live by themselves, can't afford to that?"
Ed Campbell, I love you. Great segue onto the next topic, mate. Because what happens when those people die?
You get
the inheritance.
Yes.
Millennials stand to, what was it? I saw it on Forbes or something. A $60 trillion wealth tsunami or something. Was that what it was?
That's coming your way.
Yeah.
Not us Gen Zs.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm going to be so dry.
I can't wait to drown in all that money. Yeah, no.
I won't get it.
I know that's what you were saying. I was.
You're going to be what? Tsunami'd?
Yeah, I'm going to be buried under a mountain of cash. No, it's the fact that these baby boomers, right, they will eventually die, and because their homes have appreciated in value by like 10x, 20x in the time, they're very rich, and eventually their cash will pass to their children, who probably will be about 60, but at least they'll get to buy a house then.
They're all doing it though, aren't they? They're all giving gifted deposits to their children anyway.
I think that
they're all getting on the housing market. The problem is, the real issue that millennials have is the deposit, because it's you've got a proven. I mean, I've got 10 years of proof that I can pay a considerable amount of money per each month on time. Sometimes I don't. Like, oh my god, I owe my Klarna. Sorry, it's just one. Anyway,
you want to sort that out now?
They've got that, but we've got a proven track record that you can pay that every single month. The problem is getting to the deposit in the first place. So as I'm now pitching, any young man out there who would like to pay for my deposit,
any cash pigs
or mine, Did you know what Ava would love if someone paid my deposit for a flat?
That's my kink. Oh yeah, pay Ed's deposit. Oh.
Can we just, Ed, do you have anything you'd like to add in this conversation about DOMs and subs? Is there anything you'd like to talk about here?
Are you trying to get me to talk about something?
Yeah, the paintball.
Subs. Oh, there's an event I'd quite like to go and report on, which is some dominatrixes have arranged a paintball match against their submissives, but the submissives don't get guns. So it's just dominatrixes, probably nearly murdering. It's a serious police issue.
They'll lie about that as well. They'll fucking lie about that as well. They got a shame.
They'll kill the subs. You've got to put me in my misery. Yeah.
Okay.
What about that tax policy?
Yeah. Do we have anything else to say? Should we just leave it there?